Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back to science class. This is our second time for science class, and last week I asked you to explore your surroundings to find 5 living things and 5 non-living things, right? So some of you I already checked out your answers, but before we go into your answers, I want you to know what are surroundings and what is living things and non-living things. So surroundings are things around us, whether it is natural or man-made, and these things, whether it is natural or man-made, like trees, cars, flowers, animals, clouds, and buildings or house. So some of it is living or house. These surroundings can be sorted out into 2 main groups, that is living and non-living things. So look at the screen. The boys and the girl is doing something with their surroundings. Like the boy look at the grass while the girl is smelling the flower. We can sort surroundings into 2 main groups. The first one is living things, and the second one is non-living things. What are different between 2 main groups? That is their features. Their features are not the same. These features will tell us which one is living things and non-living things. So what are the features of these 2 main groups of surrounding? Let me look inside it. First, we will learn about key features of living things. The first key features of living things is living things need air, food, and water for living. Second, living things react to stimulate. Living things react to stimuli. Third, living things can move and change their place. Living things can move and change their places. Living things have to get rid of waste. And the last one, the fifth features of living thing, that is living things breed and grow. So let me look into key feature one by one. The first one, living things need air, food, and water for living. As you might experience, I think you are experiencing these key features, because we need to have air, food, and water for our living. We need these things to grow and to live. Not only we, animals also need the air to breathe, and they also need foods to eat. They also need foods to grow, and they also need water. Also, if we don't drink for sometimes, we might get die, because most of our body are water. And C, our food, we need the air to breathe, like, so if we don't have the air to breathe, we will die. And food for living things are different. See, at the girls and the boy, they eat food like we eat, like some noodles, some rices, some meats, some vegetable. Why the animals are different? The cats want some proteins to what one food that give proteins to live, while the panda what some like some trees or some plants to live. So if we stop breathing, what will we be? Try to stop breathing if you want to know is the air important for your living. You just you can do it easily by close your nose and your mouth and try to not breathing, like how long you cannot breathe. And I think that we cannot be lack of the air or of the oxygen, because the oxygen is the main air that we use to breathe, we use in our breathing. And the second key features of living things, that is living things living things react to stimuli. What is stimuli? Stimuli is the thing that make that make humans, plants or animal response to it. Like when you see the millipedes, it will curl itself when we touch it, or something touch it, it will curl itself to protect itself. And look at the next photo, look at the video. You will see that the cats hits at a cat to to fight, or when they be in angry. And look at the mimosa pudica, falls it lives when touch it. See in the video you can see that when we touch it, it falls, it lives. That's mean to protect itself. And next, the third one is living things can move and can change their places. How do you know that living thing can move and can change their places? Look at this cheetah. This cheetah moves by itself. It can run, right? It can run. Why? People can walk by their legs, and the tree cannot move, but its leaf can be gone. Its leaf can be gone. Look at the photo. You will see that the trees are changing its leaf. And the fourth feature of living things is living things have to get rid of waste. I think we are all get rid of waste. Like in the morning we poo or we pee. And for other living things, what it do? The plants breathe by transpiration for the living. And why the dog also get rid of its sweat after it eats something or it eats food. Living things breathe and grow. Look at the picture. This is a family that there are old people, there are and younger people. That means people give births and reproduce, and to keep people give birth or living things reproduce their young to keep their species going. That if human don't have a child or don't have any children, that's mean human will be no longer. And every young living things will grow into adults, they will be able to breed their own young. And look at these animals and trees are also breed and grow, but in a different kind, in different ways, So living things will get old and die at a time. You see that when we get old, when we getting old, we might die, or some person might die from sickness or injuries, or they don't have enough air, and water may also be the cause of death of living things. Now we already know about all of the features of living things. And what about the features of non-living things? The features of non-living things are completely the features of non-living things are completely opposite from living things. That means the living things do not breathe, they do not need food and water, they do not need to get rid of body waste, they do not need to get rid of waste, they do not grow, they do not reproduce, they do not react to stimuli, and they do not move by themselves. You can see this on page 28 on your Targeting Science P.2 books. And if we compare these two things, living things and living things, you will see as the following, that 7, like it can be compared. Like in page 29 of your book, you will see that it is different, it is opposite. When living things can breathe, non-living things cannot breathe. When living things need food and water for living, non-living things do not need both of them. And look at these examples. The examples of living things are dog, baby, and plants. And the example of non-living things are bags, a cup, and shoes. So now we already know about. So before we leave, I have some video to you to like some song of living and non-living thing, and I think that it will help you to remember these key features of living things and living these two. I think that the song will help you to remember the features of living things and non-living things.
Appu has the largest library of rhymes and songs in the world, in English and many other languages.
Living things grow, living things breathe, living things reproduce, and living things eat. Living things have their very habitat. Living things one day die a death. There are some of the things that make a living thing. You and me and the cat and the mouse, trees in our world and the worms underground, all need air and all need food. Beings like their own, they reproduce. They have their own special homes, all die when they lived for long. These are some of the things that make a living thing. Non-living things stay the same size. They don't grow and they don't die. They don't need air to breathe, and they don't need food to eat. They don't reproduce. Beings like their own, they don't need a place that they can call home. These are some of the things that make a non-living thing. gives them a pull, lifeless and still. They remain without a change. These are some of the things that make a non-living thing.
Like and share this video. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button for more musical fun.
And when you finish this video or this clip, I want you to open your book on page 30, and do the exercise number 1 and number 2. I think it is not too much for you and I think you can do it by yourself because it is not hard, it is not difficult for you. The first one, tick on the living things, cross X on the non-living things. You see that there is cat, cups, a bicycle, a mosquito, a butterfly, and a doll. Which one is living things? If it is living thing, you have to check it, right? And if it is non-living thing, you have to cross it. And for the second exercise, observe things around your house or school and then record. So now you are at your house, right? So you can observe around your house, or you can look at your video and choose one from them, and choose 2 from them and write and draw the picture of it and then answer the question in the box. So if you finish your work, don't forget to ask your parents to upload it into group line. See you next week. Bye bye.